Reagan, Peggy Grande, and the author of The Case for Cancel Culture, Ernest Owens. So, Peggy, look, I know that no previous US president has attended a coronation. That's what people have been throwing at me for the past 48 hours. I also put it to you that we haven't had a coronation since 1953. We've only had two in the last century. And globalisation has sort of changed a little thing called air travel, right? It's not a big deal for the president to get on a plane to come to the coronation. So this is a real snub, isn't it?
Absolutely. I don't see how you see it as any other way. And thank you for having me on tonight, Dan. And to your point, in 1953, when the Queen was coronated, Eisenhower was president. He was newly elected as president. She obviously was very young. I don't think they had ever met. They didn't have a long-standing relationship. To your point, air travel was a little more difficult. And so here you've got Joe Biden and King Charles. They have known each other for decades. They've both stood on the world stage for a very long time. And I don't see how you interpret this any other way than it's just what he said, not a priority to him. He's prioritizing his trip to Northern Ireland and really is going back to those Obama-Biden era days where he said Britain is going to be at the back of the queue if they vote for Brexit. And we see that in the politics too, with the trade deals that have really been very lukewarm. So I think it's a snub, and perhaps he's reacting to feeling snubbed himself when he was seated in the 14th row of the Queen's funeral. But I think he should be there.
Ernest Owens, isn't this just another extension of the damage that Harry and Meghan are causing to the royal family and to the UK? Because Biden adores Harry and Meghan, but he hates the royal family.
I think that that's a far reach. I really think that, we have to understand that, the president of the free world, he is a world leader. And I think that it will take a lot of attention off of the actual situation at hand. We have to be mindful about how we come across in this conversation. I don't think Biden means to be ill will. I think blaming Meghan and Harry is just intellectually dishonest. And I really just think that, look, the president does not have to come to every event. And I don't think that it's a sign of disrespect. I think that he's actually, really being mindful about where he travels at his age at this point. And I don't think there's much. Then
maybe he shouldn't run for re-election again, I would argue. But look, Nile Gardiner, if you research Biden and you look into his views, they're very deep-rooted, his hatred. I don't use that word lightly, hatred. So you go back to his own autobiography back in 2008, Promises to Keep, and he admitted his mother's Irish-American relatives hang on to Irish grudges. And he quotes his Aunt Gertie once telling him, "Your father's not a bad man, he's just English." And then in 1982, before he met the late Queen for the first time, his mother, Jean Biden, gave him one piece of advice, and she said to him, "Don't you dare bow down to the Queen." So at the end of the day, I actually think there's a lot of evidence to suggest this isn't just about his age, Niall. It's about something much deeper than that. Biden loves the Irish. He hates the British.
Well, Dan, thanks very much for having me on the show today. And, without a doubt, of course, this is insulting to people. Joe Biden has knifed Britain in the back on multiple occasions. And as you mentioned earlier, he started off his presidency, as Barack Obama did previously, by throwing a bust of Winston Churchill out of the Oval Office. So that's the start of his presidency. And he's since knifed Britain in the back over a US-UK trade deal. He has constantly lectured the British government over the Northern Ireland issue. He is also a Euro-federalist. He's a big supporter of the European Union. He's anti-Brexit. And I would describe as well President Biden as a very rude individual. He's also one of the laziest US presidents, I think, in modern memory as well. So making this trip over to the UK, he couldn't be bothered to do it. And I have to say, this is yet another disappointment coming from the Biden White House. I mean, a really at the end of the day, insulting move by the US.
Well, he's one of the worst presidents. He is one of the worst presidents in American history. And the thing is, Peggy, so many Brits seem to have an issue with Donald Trump. But let me tell you, there is no way that Donald Trump would not have attended the coronation. So whatever you think about his politics, he was such a firm believer in the special relationship.
Absolutely, he was. And he fostered that. He encouraged that. And, back to my old boss, Ronald Reagan, we saw his relationship with Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. It was rumored that maybe the Queen said that he was her favorite president. But you looked at that special relationship that really meant something. They liked each other personally and weren't just steeped in protocol or the politics. And so it's really important because, especially now when you look at the world, this new world order that is emerging, where it's really scary and dangerous. We see an alliance between China and Iran and Russia and North Korea. It is important for every opportunity that the Western nations have to stand shoulder to shoulder, to show an alliance, to show a unified front to the rest of the world. And I think for Joe Biden, this is a huge missed opportunity to show that strength, to show that special relationship is still intact, and to show that we are a united front and that we're watching this evil axis form across the world.
Ernest, you look shocked there. What are you shocked about?
Well, for starters, Trump is currently being indicted. And I think that we should not consider the fact that he's a attention hog. So he's the type of person that if he was there, he would make it about himself because he's, a narcissist. So I don't necessarily know if that's the perfect comparison to make. And I don't think that is, he is someone who is, in this country, in America, someone that we consider a good president.
All right, Ernest. I don't believe in cancelling people, but I'm going to cancel you right now because we can't hear you properly. That's the only reason why. Because usually I do not believe in cancel culture. But look, thank you all. That was the former aide to Margaret Thatcher, Nile Gardiner, former advisor to Ronald Reagan, Peggy Grande, and, of course, the author of The Case for Cancel Culture, Ernest Owens. But who do you agree with? Is Biden wrong to turn down an invite to the coronation? Kessel says, yes, this is a massive insult to the King and to the UK. Just goes to show this is a president with no interest in maintaining the special relationship and who has a total disregard for our King and country. From Mayflower, no president has been to a coronation, plus he doesn't like Britain. So if he doesn't want to attend, fine, he won't be missed. Well, that's for sure. And from Hero, it's an invitation, therefore the right to accept or decline is perfectly acceptable. And your verdict is now in. 68% of you say that Biden is wrong to turn down this invite. 32% of you say he was right to snub the new monarch. Now, coming